Okay, today I'm going to talk about how to do a custom cursor, how to do start and load button, and how to hide and reveal your inventory items. Let's begin. So I'm going to click here to start it. Alright, and then I'm going to press the F2 button to hide my inventory. F1 will reveal it. See how they blinked off and on? Then I can collect weapons here. And then I can press the F2 button and it goes away. And then press F1 to reveal the items. And then I can go collect and then hide, reveal, and then I'm going to go ahead and into it, and I'm going to load it up because it's saved. Let's see, it saves your weapon, your items, hides, reveals. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I did that. Alright, so the first thing here, I'll talk about the cursor first. Okay, so for the cursor, just have an image here, make an image in here for it, and in the edit, it just animates. Make sure the crosshairs are centered, because if you don't have your crosshairs centered, you won't be able to go to a specific area and click on it like a button or something. So make sure your crosshairs are centered on the image. And in the mask, modify mask, I would make sure it's rectangle and it's the whole thing. Alright, did a add event and then went to a crate and then went to the move tab, grabbed over a jump to position, then you would say mouse underscore X, then mouse underscore Y. And then you copy that and paste it in the step. Same information, mouse underscore X, mouse underscore Y. So you have a create and step event. Make sure the depth's at minus 1000. And then in your global settings here, make sure that your cursor is not displayed. So that way your original mouse cursor becomes that image you created, and this will allow the create jump position and the step position. That will allow your cursor to turn into the custom cursor, and you're able to move on the screen using your mouse, of course. So it changes your cursor into your custom cursor image. Alright, then start button, you do a left pressed, go mouse event, add event, go to mouse, go to left pressed, and then you do a go to next room in the main 1 tab, minus 50 on the button. The load, alright, so the load, it's going to load all this information. It's going to basically stop the background sound from happening, which is the background sound for the first room. It's going to play, well, it's going to play the gain sound when you collect an item. and it's also going to replay the rain, set it to true. Like I said, this has to be in here for it to load up, because if you don't have the rain sound in there, it's not going to play the rain, even though the rain was in the second room originally using a question mark icon. You still have to put the play sound in there for the load. Then in the coded script, you're going to have all this information about the D3D start, hide, light, fog, and everything like that. So that way, remember I was talking about before where the game wasn't 3D, it was flat, and you had to actually go to the first room in order to load it up to the second room. Well, now you can load it up in the first room where it's flat and not 3D, but you have to have this code to make it 3D when you go into the next room. So this code right here was actually in with the player objects. So in the crate area, all this information is in the player object to make sure that the room is going to be 3D when you start the game. So that also has to be in with the load for it to be 3D. Otherwise, it's not going to be 3D, it's going to be flat, because the first room is flat, and so when you load up, it's going to be flat. So you got to make sure you put this code in here to make it load to 3D. So this is the same information I copied from the player object, put it into a script form here, then added score caption, which is in the, it's going to be in the score tab. Make sure it does not show lives or health caption, because you don't want that to show up. And what I mean by that is in the score will show up. If you don't have that icon in there, then the score is going to show up here in this location right here. So you're going to make sure it's not going to be visible, because you're not collecting any score in the game. But when you collect the crystal, it will show a score icon of 1 or 2, so you got to make sure you hide that, because you don't want that to be there, because you're not gaining a score, you're just gaining a count. So you have the crystal down there, so it would actually show the score up here. So you're going to make sure you want to hide the score so it doesn't show that. So that's what I'm talking about. Make sure it does not show, does not show, does not show. And this score information is also in with a question mark in both the first room and second room. That's a save. See, in the second room, I have it play the sound, but it also does not show the score too. Even though that question mark's in that second room, you also have to have it in the load sequence too for it to work correctly. Otherwise, it's going to pop up. It's going to show the score if you don't have it set to load. So if you don't have the score icon in here, when you load it up, it's going to show the score even though that question mark's there in the room. And that's why that has to be there. Then you're going to have the load file, which is in the main 2 tab. Drag the load file in there so it loads the game, loads the save game, because that's what you had typed in as save game. Then one other thing is going to be this hide and show. Make sure it's set to persistent, and you do a step event, and then you do X view and Y view, 500, 100. This is going to be the position of where your inventory is at on screen. So this green square is going to basically hide and reveal your inventory. Do a draw event so it shows on your screen and stays in one location while you're moving around. So X view or Y view, 500, 100. Then in the press F1, you're going to basically object no gun, object have gun 2, object have gun. That's all. And you say make it visible true. That's correct. Make it all visible true. So those images are going to be right here, like it says object have gun 2. It shows an icon of the gun. Also, you're going to also have an icon of the blue outline for the gun. Before you grab it, it's going to be a box, and then when you do grab it, it's going to show the gun right here. So you want to make sure both of those, make sure the blue outline and the blue outline with the gun is going to be on at the same time, as well as when you press F2 to make sure it goes away. So you're hiding it here when you do object no gun visible equals false. So you're saying that you want to hide it. So you press F2 to hide it, and then F1 will reveal it, which you set it to true. So all this information here is talking about what the items you collect, and it shows the outline of the color of the item that you're about to collect. So all that's hidden and revealed when you press the F1 and F2 buttons. And make sure it's set to persistent so it will continue in the next room. So basically you have, in the first room, you have that green box right here, but in the second room you don't have it, and that's because you have it set to persistent. Where, oh well, it does go in there. Okay, well, I would just keep it in. You probably don't have to have it in there. Let me just test it out, but I think you don't have to have it in the second room because you have it set to persistent, so it shouldn't matter. Yeah, so basically it does go away and reveal. So you don't have to have that green box in the second room. You have to have it in the first room, the green box, but you don't have to have it in the second room. So that's why you set it persistent, because you can have it in the first room and then it'll continue over to the second room. You don't need it in the second room, the green box, because you set it to persistent. So yeah, the same applies to like the weapon icon. The weapon icon is set to persistent, but it doesn't need to be in the second room because it will continue into the second room when you save or load or go to the second room. It doesn't need to be in there. Alright, and I think that's everything new to talk about thus far. Thanks for watching.